Imagine a crowded film set buzzing with energy, yet in the midst of all that joy, one man sits alone in the corner, his eyes lost in a world no one else can see. That's the hidden truth a seasoned actress finally shared after decades of quiet reflection about the comedian who lit up every room but carried a shadow that laughter couldn't chase away. Years later, she opened up about their time together on a beloved family comedy that became a classic. It wasn't filled with flashy anecdotes or forced admiration. Instead, it painted a raw picture of a performer who was the heartbeat of the crew, yet often the most isolated soul amid the cheers. He thrived on spontaneity, turning scripted moments into unpredictable magic. You could never predict what he'd say next, and that kept everyone on their toes. Picture the chaos on set from day one. He'd rewrite lines on the fly, inventing whole conversations as the mood hit him. The director sometimes scrambled with multiple cameras, desperate to catch those fleeting sparks of genius. For him, real humor had to bubble up naturally, right there in the moment. The place was electric. She showed up prepared, lines memorized to perfection, delivering each emotion with precision. He'd burst in and transform everything into a whirlwind of improv. Their approaches clashed like fire and ice, leaving the team both thrilled and a bit bewildered. Scenes stretched on because he'd layer in extra quips, forcing pauses until his burst of creativity simmered down. But when he arrived, the whole vibe shifted. He'd crack jokes with the lights crew, chat endlessly with makeup artists, making sure nobody felt overlooked. Then, as the giggles died, he'd retreat to a quiet spot, staring off into nothing. The director sensed a weariness in him, a constant need to play the entertainer, even when it drained him dry. Every take was different, fresh, alive. That tension between their styles sparked frustration at times. His endless changes threw off her flow, while her steady rhythm challenged him to stay loose. Yet somehow, it all fused into something electric, two forces pulling in opposite directions, but creating pure magnetism. Then came a heartbreaking turning point. Mid-production, during a grueling stretch, her father died. He was the one who insisted they stop everything for a few days, so she could grieve and say goodbye. He sent a simple bouquet with a note. "Take all the time you need. We'll be here." It wasn't just kindness from a colleague. It felt like family. From that day, she saw him differently, not just as the set's energizer, but as the guy shouldering everyone's mood dot. He admitted silence unnerved him on the job. Joy was his anchor. She started to get why he craved constant laughter. When his improv ran wild, she'd hold back irritation, waiting for the storm to pass so they could nail the scene together. One day stands out forever, filming a raw, emotional breakup. For once, no jokes. The set fell hushed as he poured out real exhaustion, blurring the line between role and reality. She approached silently afterward, just resting a hand on his arm. In that touch, a deep connection formed. No words needed as shooting ended. He handed her a candid snapshot from behind the scenes, scribbled with, "Thanks for riding out the chaos." She grinned and said, "No chaos, no magic." She's always held him in quiet awe, calling him the one who wore you out, but left the biggest void. If this glimpse into their bond moves you, please share it with someone who needs a reminder of hidden struggles behind the smiles. The movie's triumph showed those on-set sparks weren't hurdles, they were fuel. He shone for his warmth and depth. She grounded it all with heart. Together, they crafted a tale of family that mixed laughs with real humanity, far beyond a simple hit. To truly grasp their magic, step back to their worlds before they collided. Two stars in Hollywood, each with a unique fire. He saw comedy as a lifeline for the soul. She built art on raw truth and grit. Parallel roads in the same glittering industry. He grew up comfortable, schooled well, but chased laughs from tiny stages to TV breakthroughs and big screens. Fans adored how he breathed life into every part, not just reciting, but becoming. Hits like his war radio DJ, inspiring teacher, or tender therapist revealed his gift to flip from hilarity to heartache in a heartbeat. But genius came with isolation. He fueled others' joy while battling his own quiet storms. She fought her way in through sheer willpower, starting in fluffy TV before diving into meaty roles of resilient women. From factory fighter to heartfelt dramas, she prepared obsessively, honoring every nuance. Reserved and pro, she viewed acting as a sacred duty. While he feared quiet, she craved it to build depth. He hid pain in punchlines. She faced it with calm strength, opposites, yet mirrors, both tough as nails. He warred with inner demons. She battled industry barriers. One blazed wild, the other burned steady. Their contrasts promised friction, but delivered harmony when they met. What drove him deeper? Personal battles shadowed his spotlight. He grappled with addiction, checking into rehab willingly, owning his flaws publicly as steps to growth. Family strains from 2 failed marriages tested him, but he cherished his kids, passing on his spark and heart. Professionally, he stood firm against a studio misusing his likeness, setting a precedent for artists' rights. Tragedy struck in 2014. At 63, he took his life after fighting a brutal brain disorder that stole his clarity. The world reeled. A private farewell with loved ones, global tributes flooding in flowers, notes, marathons of his films. It sparked urgent talks on mental health, funds for research, awareness drives. His family launched support for that rare disease. Pushing for earlyhelp.tech raised new ghosts, companies faking his voice for ads. His daughter fiercely protected his essence, insisting true art can't be coded. It fueled debates on ethics in creation. Yet his generosity endures. He gave millions to kids, the homeless, addiction fights, often helping crew quietly. She, over decades, stayed scandal-free, turning pain into purpose via her writings. Post-divorces, she embraced solitude, beat cancer, and advocates for women's wellness. Funding young talent, fighting bias, she lives for impact, not spotlight. His arc? From clubs to icons, redefining funny his feeling. He listened, lifted, gave without fanfare. Facing darkness head-on inspired recovery paths. His lost birth mental health pushes grants in his name. Family guards his image, rejecting AI fakes. Screenings keep his light alive, proving comedy connects souls. She, now in her late 70s, picks projects wisely. Family tales, human truths. A beacon for aging artists, she advocates health, mentors via scholarships. Her wealth modest, life simple. Words in memoirs heal old wounds. She teaches discipline trumps drama. Over 30 years later, their film endures as a bridge of laughs and tears, mending unseen breaks. His echo lingers in our chuckles. She carries the torch of authenticity. Art thrives on kindness like theirs. If these lives inspire you to see beyond the surface, hit like, subscribe, and share this story. Let's keep real journeys alive where heart meets screen.